So good day. This is the video on how to prepare a service record and 201 file. You'll notice that the reference for this is Cadet Regulation 1, and I'm going to be using Chapter 4 of that regulation as well as the couple of appendices that are labeled C as in Charlie. So the first thing that I need to do is make sure that I have a service record document. So I'm going to be going to the cadet.org website, and when I go to the document library and click on Forms, Form 13 is the cadet service record. When I click on it, actually I need to click on the left-hand button here. It'll allow me to save as a Microsoft Word document, and now I have the service record. I'm going to change my view and zoom to 350% so that you can see it a little better as to what it is that I'm doing. Okay, so the top part of our service record, I fill in the cadet's last name. So I'll do this for myself. Last name Ryan, first name Mark, middle initial P. Then my date of birth. So let's say I was born on the 3rd of September 2000. I don't want to tell you my real birthday. And my gender is male. And my home address, 1234 Spring Street, and that is in Oakland, California, 94608. I don't have a different mailing address, so all of that information is the same. Now I'm going to scroll over here to the right, and I am going to be enrolled in whatever school I have as my California Cadet Corps school. So let's say that is the 150th Battalion, and the name of the school is James Middle School. So you'll notice here that when I did this, it didn't exactly fit beautifully. I can, if I need to, I could change the size of this to shrink it a little bit in order to have it all nicely fit on a line. I can also do things like eliminate the TH if that is helpful. Okay, so then the dates. The dates are the date that I enrolled and the date that I left that particular unit. And you'll notice that there's multiple places because presumably a student might go from one school to another that has a Cadet Corps program. So let's say I enrolled in this program on the 1st of August 2013. And I'm going to use the abbreviation of AUG. And I'm going to go ahead and do that all in caps. And I'm going to do them all close together. And the reason for that is I eventually am going to have dates that I left that particular middle school. For now, I'm going to leave everything after the word to blank because I'm still enrolled in that school. Over here, I'm going to go down to my phone number. So let's say my phone number is area code 510-555-1212. And my alternate phone might be my cell phone number, so 510-555-9933. And I've now filled out the top part of my service record. So the next portion of my service record is appointments and reductions. So this is where I'm going to list every time I get promoted or demoted or reduced. That gets recorded in this section of the service record. So under grade, that is not the grade I'm in, grade 6, 7, 8. That is the rank that I am being promoted to. So my first promotion must always be to cadet. So I type in the abbreviation for cadet, which is CDT. My authority is always going to be a unit order number, and it's going to have a numbering sequence. So just like if you watched the video on how to prepare a unit order, a unit permanent order, they all start with a battalion number. So remember, I'm in the, what did I say, the 150th Battalion? So I'm going to have authority of 150, and then the school year, in this case it's the 13-14 school year. And let's say I was promoted on the first order of the year. And the effective date for that was, let's say I was promoted to cadet, I enrolled on the 1st of August, let's say I was promoted on the 18th of September of 2013. And then let's say I was promoted to CFC next, and that was on unit order 150-13-14, and it was unit order number 008. And I got promoted to CFC, let's say, at the end of November, so the 20th of November of 13. And then I was promoted to corporal, C/CPL, on order 150-1314-011, and the effective date for that was the 3rd of February of 14. Now you'll notice that every time I get promoted, it gets recorded in this section of the Form 13. If I get demoted, the same thing happens. And the dates are the effective dates of those promotions, which should be indicated on the unit orders. The next section of the service record is awards and decorations. So this is the everything, every time I get a ribbon, that ribbon gets awarded on a unit permanent order, and I put those indications, the indication that I received a ribbon, I put that on the Form 13. So let's say that I earned the Commandant of Cadets citation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to look at Appendix D, as in Delta, of Cadet Regulation 1, because it tells me the authorized abbreviation for each ribbon. So if I look at that appendix, it tells me the Commandant of Cadets citation looks like that. The authority is going to be, again, order number, this is going to be a permanent order, so 150-13-14, and let's say this is on permanent order number 2. And the effective date for that was the 3rd of September 13. So I've now gotten my first ribbon, Commandant of Cadets citation. Let's say on that same order I earned the school service ribbon. So again, I'm going to go to my Appendix D, and I see that school service is recorded as school service, and let's say it was the same order number and the same effective date. Okay, now let's assume that on a different order I got the color guard ribbon. So I look on the appendix and I see that it is abbreviated color guard, 150-1314, let's say that was order 3, and that was the 14th of September 13. I'm going to list every single time I get a ribbon. I'm going to list that in the awards and decorations section of my service record. I'm going to change the view for a moment. I'm going to go back to my 100% view, and you can see now what it looks like. The top portion is the personal information and enrollment information. The next section is appointments and reductions. The next section is awards and decorations. If I run out of space on one of these pages, I can always go to a second page, especially if I earn that many awards and decorations. Let's go to the second page. The second page is the physical fitness qualification, rifle qualification, and duty assignment section. So I'm going to go back to my Zoom. And every time I take the physical fitness test, I'm going to record my results in this section of Form 13. So let's say I took the physical fitness test on the 3rd of January 2014, and my mile run time was 9 minutes and 38 seconds. And I was able to do 26 push-ups and 14 curl-ups. And let's say I failed the shoulder stretch left and passed the shoulder stretch right. I was able to do the trunk lift at 7 inches, and my sit and reach was 9 inches left and 8 inches right. And I did not meet the minimum requirement. If you're not sure about the minimum requirement or about physical fitness testing, that would be found in Cadet Regulation 3-12 if you're not sure. Again, you would make these entries every single time the cadet takes the physical fitness test. Next section is rifle qualification. Not everybody does rifle qualification, but if you do, you write the date that you did the rifle qualification. Let's say it was the 15th of October 2013. Let's say that I scored a 38 out of 40. And so I was an expert. I make sure that I can that I use the correct abbreviation for expert, and the correct abbreviation for expert is EXP, and that is also found in Appendix D to Cadet Regulation 1. Each time I shoot, I'm writing my date, the score, and the qualification in this section. Okay, the next section is duty assignments. In duty assignments, whatever time I get a job in the Cadet Corps, I'm going to record that job here. And generally, those are going to get recorded on unit orders. But whatever the effective date was, that's the date that I'm going to record here. So let's say on the 1st of August of 13, I was assigned as a squad member. Then at the end of my duty as a squad member, maybe it's the end of the semester, I change positions and I become a squad leader. My commandant is going to rate me a letter grade just the same way that you got a letter grade in your math or English class. So let's say I was rated as an A. And then on the 3rd of January of 14, I became a squad leader. And at the end of that duty, let's say I was a B. I was rated as a B. Pretty good, but not perfect by my commandant. Every time I have a duty assignment, it's going to get recorded there. There's a section of the service record talking about true copies and about statements of service. Those can be referenced in Chapter 4 of the regulation. I'm going to, in the interest of time, I won't go over those, but that's what the second page of the service record would look like. Now, the service record itself goes into what's called a 201 file. The 201 file, I'm going to go back to the actual regulation here. And I'm going to go to Cadet Regulation number 1. And if I go to Chapter 4 of the regulation, Chapter 4 talks about what the various sections are of the 201 file. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see these a little better. The 201 file is also known as the personnel file, and it consists of a file folder with a copy of the cadet's current Form 13 along with supporting documentation. So that generally you should be using, and this is important, I'm going to zoom in here, you should be using a Pendaflex style 1157G brand file folder, which is a 4-section letter size classification folder. And it will have 4 sections. And the sections are listed here. In section 1, to the left as you open it, you put copies of orders relating to that cadet. In section 2, you put copies of all promotion data. In section 3, documentation about ribbons and awards and other information like uniform inspections, school community service records, flag detail records, etc. And then in section 4, it's permanent orders. So that's what a 201 file should look like. And I'm going to go online here just to show you what a Pendaflex 1157G looks like. So this is an image of what a Pendaflex is going to look like. Okay, so you'll notice that it has this, it opens up and it has areas where the information can be stored. Section 1 on this left section, section 2 on the inside front, section 3 on the inside backs, and section 4 on the very, very back cover. So that's what a Pendaflex file should look like. That concludes this video of how to do a Form 13 and a service